Hello everybody and welcome back to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Avi and today I'll be playing Arata Satomi, your local real kind thief boy who is back in his hometown. Actually no, he's not in his original hometown, he's back in Ogashima. You know. And with me today is my wonderful, amazing friend who I love very much.
Guess that's me. Hi! I'm Fletch. I'm currently tossing Uno reverse cards at Avi. Because they are also an extremely good and cool friend and a great DM.
Christ.
But yeah, I am going to be playing everyone's favorite 6-year-old detective because I don't think there's any other baby detectives like that. So I can say this line with confidence. Even if they are, yeah, I know he's technically 7 now. His age is something that is best not discussed too much. But yes, I'm going to be playing this horrible little baby detective. He sure is having a time, TM.
Oh, he sure is. So, opening us up, off, for, this FPS, it is probably the evening of, the same night as, Okashima Daylight. One of Arata's friends, Hatsumi Akisato, has helped, a great number of the party get situated and settled into a hotel, but everybody looked at Camille and went, "No, you're not resting on your own. We're not leaving you alone."
And they would be right for that. If, I'm pretty sure if they had left him alone, Leo and Tom, and probably Azumi, if he knew,
Yeah.
would eviscerate the party. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah. So the options were either Camille could stay with like Moria, or Camille could stay with Satoru at his house, or with Arata in the attic of like Gris. And I think Camille was the one who chose to stay with Arata.
Yeah, Camille decided that he's most comfy with Arata right now. Mostly because Arata is also like another person who kind of gets it TM right now.
Yeah.
And because he's also technically had a sleepover with Arata beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. So like it's probably been like a while since the like lunch slash dinner. I think it was a lunch actually that that the Spirit Rogues all celebrated Arata's return, and now that they've like gone off and like dispersed and whatnot, that essentially leaves you and Arata alone. Technically with Genie and Satoru, but Satoru's still manning the store cafe. He's still managing the cafe while it's still open. But Arata does, in fact, take you upstairs to the attic. And let me find a picture. Because I totally forgot to pull up.
You are so very valid.
Yeah. Okay, this is as close as we're gonna get to a picture of the attic Um, but it's missing a lot of the decorations that Arata would have in his room.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very static. Actually, there might be a better one. No. No, that's fine. Anyway, even though it is like the attic of a one floor cafe, it is a very cozy bedroom. That actually looks pretty well lived in. There is a workbench, and there's a shelf with a lot of like decorations from knickknacks from all over Okashima. On the wall there is a sort of like a banner flag thing with the logo of the Spirit Rogues. You know the one. It's got the top hat and the mask, and it says "Take your heart." There is also a painting on the opposite wall. That is very colorful and very poppy. I'm gonna spoil this for Eye Strain. I will say one thing that's different from the picture of the attic that I shared is that instead of just being a mattress stacked on a bunch of like crates, he has an actual like bed with a bed frame and everything. So he is pretty set up in his this attic room.
Nice. I think Camille probably takes a moment to take it all in. He's at least not like dissociating anymore, which is a plus.
Yeah.
Though he is still a bit more subdued than normal.
And that is fair. And Arata, as you guys like make it into the room, Arata does kind of like throw his hands up dramatically, and he says, "Welcome to my crib." Roll credits.
Oh my god. Title job. He'll snorts because it's just so very over dramatic. And he takes a moment and looks over at the Spirit Rogues poster, thinks for a moment, and is just so. Is it a requirement for Phantom Thieves to have merch of themselves in their rooms?
And Arata looks at the like little flag thing, and then looks back to Camille, and he goes, I guess not. What, does Leo have Phantom L merch in his room?
I want you to think over that question and then ask me that again.
No, you're right. I can definitely see it.
Sometimes, even if your brother's not here, you have to bully him just a little.
And Arata just kind of laughs and steps forward into the room. And he says, "But of course, I would have Spirit Rogue merch. I am my best friend's #1 fan."
Camille does snort at that Is he's just, well, I guess that is a little less self-grandizing than Leo, but okay.
I just kind of got it within the first year I was here in Okashima, so kind of adds color to the room.
Yeah, Camille nods at that.
It's too bad.
And
Oh, continue.
no, you continue.
Arata says it's too bad that Satori put the fountain back in the box. Could have had like a chocolate fountain running, and we could just eat from it.
Camille blinks.
I can't.
And then he just looks over at you.
I can't explain this one, but you're not gonna believe me.
Just try.
Okay. So, my friend Adia and I, we were hanging out, and we decided to head over to this, like, pretty expensive buffet because, she had a kind of, like, photo shoot there at one point. So we head over, and we decide to, like, have lunch, whatever. I kid you not, the staff told Adia that she was like, what, their millionth customer? And they gave her a chocolate fountain for free as a gift. And she was like, I don't really need this, and gave it to me, so now I just have a chocolate fountain.
Didn't know that was a real thing. I mean, I guess it's not the weirdest thing I've heard, but no, you're right, that is pretty weird.
I mean, I can show you the fountain. It's in its box, but, like, look. And he kind of, like, there's, like, a little, like, area where, like, there are, like, because this is still a cafe, it is still the attic of a cafe, there is still, like, some stuff that is for the actual shop and whatnot. There's, like, bags of, like, coffee beans, and, like, right next to where those beans are, he kind of, like, kneels down and shoves out a box, and sure enough, on its side is a picture of the chocolate fountain.
So, just that certainly is a chocolate fountain.
Sure is a chocolate fountain.
Okay. Doggy decided to bark for a moment. You see something upsetting. He's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Camille, just don't let Leo know that you have this, because I'm positive that Leo, and probably Juby as well, would find something incredibly stupid to do with it.
Oh, God, you're right. Well, I guess it is a good thing we are in a real kind country, maybe? Oh, I don't know. He just kind of sits there.
Being in a real kind country does not leave you free of shenanigans.
This is true. I mean, if anything, this, and he gestures to the chocolate fountain, is proof.
Yeah, Camille nods because, yeah, that sure does seem like something that would be more likely to happen in Inkwell.
And he kind of stands back up and brushes himself off, and he says, I can take the couch if you want the bed.
He shakes his head like, no, I'm fine, really. I don't really take up a lot of space.
I know, but you really shouldn't be following in Azumi's, footsteps and sleeping on the, uncomfortably.
And that means that you should.
Point taken. Oh, hi, Iggy.
What do you want, little man? You want my hand? That tasty? You satisfied now? Okay. Okay, I think. Come on. You know what? We can just continue while he chews on my hand. This is fine.
I think anyway, like either way, Arata does like pull out the couch anyway, and kind of just sets up another like pillow, grabs a blanket, and one of the things I forgot to mention is that there is a very like primitive television.
Mm-hmm.
Like Yellow's already in the beginnings of its tech industrial revolution. This television is still like very, very early. It is chonky.
Chonky. The kind that takes like 10 minutes to
turn
turn
on.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, Arata has one of those. There is a radio downstairs in the cafe.
Mm-hmm.
And but he is kind of like setting stuff up so like you can like settle down, take your shoes off, you know, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, he probably does because he is not an animal, even if he turns into one sometimes.
Sometimes you just got a wild shape. And I think Rada just kind of like settles on the bed and like takes off his overshirt as he kind of like kicks off his shoes, and after a moment he kind of just pauses, and your insight is bullshit.
He does have a +10 to insight.
Your insight is bullshit, TM, and he kind of, you can tell that like even though he's still trying to like play along jokingly and kind of like make light of the current situation, oh, he is still thinking.
Yeah, I think Camille probably wanders over and hops up to sit on the bed next to Arata as he's just, something on your mind?
Hmm. And he kind of like takes a deep breath and sighs, and he says, I just can't stop thinking about how stupid he is. You know?
Real nods.
he he knows what he's getting into. Like, there's no
Oh,
doubt.
you cut out for me for a moment.
Oh, he says, he knows what he's getting into. There is no doubt that it is going to be hell on him. And he's still going through with it? Camille, I was in there twice. I don't... Luckily enough, Sai is an incredible lawyer, and there's no way in hell that she's gonna let him get hurt, but even still, I don't get it.
It just sighs because it's just I've about it a lot too. I mean, having murderers and the like face justice is kind of my whole thing, but it doesn't really feel right here. It's like you said, it's not actually justice, it's just hurting people more. And Phil sort of shifts, and boy, is it obvious that he has a lot of thoughts. TM.
Arata just kind of like makes a gesture and is like, do you want to go off?
Comes a bit is he's just, well, I'm trying to find the right words, but it's just Shiro's trying, and there's a very frustrated sigh. Emotions hard.
Oh, that's fair.
I mean, I've always thought that, yeah, people should face justice for what they've done and such, but I don't really been through enough. I don't think people should have to suffer to become better. It just really doesn't feel right. He's already improved a lot as a person, and he's trying, and I think probably the worst thing is that I don't think he sees that.
I don't think so either, but Azumi is Azumi. He's been through so much as is, and I think because of that, it's just hard for him to see it in the same way everyone else does, you know?
Yeah. I want to tell him that, and I pretty sure that I have tried telling him that, but I don't know. I just don't really like feeling helpless like this.
I don't either. And Arata just kind of does that thing where he kind of flops onto his back on the bed, and is just gonna stare at the ceiling for a bit. And it's unspoken, but you get the impression that you're free to like hop on the bed too.
Yeah, you now have a child flopped on top of you.
Get held.
Listen, he knows he's holdable, so he's going to use that to his advantage. After a moment, he probably turns to look at Arata as he's just, and what about you? Do you want to talk about it?
And he kind of like pauses, and he says, I would love to talk about it if I could figure out what I want to say. Because there is so much I want to say, and it comes out all at once when I try. But I think the gist of it is that Azumi's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, Camille nods. Yeah. Kind of is.
Like, it's not even his fault. I mean, I guess you can make an argument and say like, yeah, it is, but like,
He was still a victim. Honestly, probably one of the biggest victims of that whole fiasco. But of course he doesn't see it that way.
God, I just want to go in there and just shake him, you know?
I think you and pretty much everyone else on this trip.
Yeah. I guess the only thing we can do right now is this is gonna sound corny as hell, and he kind of like rubs a hand against his face.
Oh?
He kind of just sighs and he says, the only thing we can do is just believe in him. You know, believe that he's gonna make it out somehow. Believe that Sai's gonna keep him as safe as possible. You know, I mean, even if things are gonna happen, I'm gonna think that Azumi is gonna be alright because he does know how to hold his own, but that worry's gonna stick around anyway. But I
That
guess
it is.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess in the long run, the best we can do is just try to pick up where he left off. There is a whole mystery online, you know.
well, it feels like there always is.
Okay, that's not fair. You're a detective.
A detective who has been affectionately and not so affectionately dubbed a murder magnet. So, yeah, I guess my experiences would not be universal in this case.
By the gods, by the masks, by any force willing, I am praying that your plot doesn't carry over in Yedo. Good lord.
Why do you think I've been sticking to people so much? I am 2'8". I am half-toon. I am mage handable. I feel like the moment I step outside by myself, something is going to happen.
Plot band you are.
Listen, I feel like if I got kidnapped here, then Shiro being in jail would probably be the least of our worries regarding him.
Oh no, you're right. Oh god, I think he would break himself out.
Well, I guess that is a last resort if things really go downhill.
God, that is such an awful thing to say.
Real snorts as he just. Oh. No, I don't really have a defense for myself there. Anything I say will probably make it worse.
And Arata just kind of like affectionately like pulls you closer and like rustles your hair. Or
he does get. Camille does do the little struggle against Arata. You get a baby hand in your face.
ah, my one weakness, tiny hands.
Yeah, well, there's a lot more where that came from, and you're now being papped by little hands.
Oh no, I'm defeated! And he lets go. It like kind of like does that over dramatic flop, like he's pretending to be dead.
Real just snorts as he's just, you are a dork.
And proud of it. Also, I can't hear you, I'm dead. I've been defeated.
Well, then I guess I have this whole space to myself. Maybe I should get out that chocolate fountain.
No, that's my chocolate fountain. Hang on.
You can't care about chocolate fountains if you're dead.
And Arata just kind of sits up, and he says, "I think if we turned that on." There was more to that sentence. I forgot what it was halfway through.
Oh. pats you.
He does sit up though, and he's just like, I think it would be a hassle to just turn that thing on, you know? It's not a little fountain.
No, I imagine not. Though I guess that does beg the question, did you... You remembered to clean it before you put it back in the box, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's... Who do you take me for, Camille?
I take you for a lot of things.
I don't know whether to be flattered or offended. Thank you.
Both.
And Arata just kind of cackles.
It does give him a little smile.
I'm trying to think if I want to do a cameo. You know what? Fuck it. There is like a knock that's like further down the staircase up to the attic. And you just hear like a gruff voice from downstairs says, I'm coming up. And Arata straightens back up and just kind of like puts a hand on your head as if that will help settle everything. As Satoru comes up the stairs and kind of just lingers at the foot of them. Not the foot, the top of them. I know my terminology. And
So valid.
And he glances between the two of you, and he says, you kids doing alright?
Oh, yes, thank you.
I'm about to head out soon, so, you try not to make a mess of the place. And, Arata gives him, like, a 2-fingered salute, but before he heads back down, he says, he looks towards you, Camille, and he says, is there anything you want for dinner?
Oh, I'm not really picky. I guess as long as it doesn't have coconut.
And, he glances to Arata, and Arata just kind of, like, shrugs, and he just lets out a sigh. Whoa, the burden of choice has been left to him.
Rip.
But he's fine with it, and he says, alright, you kids take it easy. And he, goes back downstairs. Jeannie trots up, though, and kind of just hops on the bed and curls up right next to the pillow.
Aww. Jeannie is given a little pat. And honestly, Spades probably heads over to join his small animal solidarity.
Small animal solidarity! And, as you give Jeannie a pat, Arata just goes, you know, I think Boss already likes you.
Camille looked over.
He's got a shit-eating grin.
So he's one of those types then, huh?
If by those type you mean, seems like he doesn't like you but actually kind of likes you, yeah. Not in the same vein as Azumi, but...
No, I'd say Shiro is definitely more of a tsundere.
He does, like, let out, like, an ugly laugh at that. And he says, things I could never say to Azumi's face lest I want to be killed on the spot.
Camille gives him a bit of a smirk as he's just, well, thankfully I have the advantage of being very small on my side, so I can get away with a lot.
Oh, he sure can. Unfortunately, this also makes you a little baby man.
Just hugs.
Little baby man.
I am not afraid to slap you.
From GD, you just hear, oh, I think you should.
Camille raises a hand threateningly.
Oh, come on! God damn it! You see Arata just, like, reach over to grab you.
I guess that's athletic.
Oh boy. It's athletics on my hand. Oh, that was a... I think that's an even... It's a flat, right? Yes, it is.
Well.
Oh no. Oh my god! Get snatched.
How's that a -2? That one.
Oh my god.
He goes in for the slap, but you just scruff him.
Get scruffed. And he kind of just, like, picks you up and just puts you in his lap. And he goes, get held, idiot.
Camille is wiggling, but there is nothing he can do. Is just Arata! Come on.
No, you're being held now. You're being held, and there's nothing you can do about it. And he gives your head a pat.
He does a thing where he looks like if you try to do that again, he will bite you.
I just had the mental image where he does try to do it again, but, like, pulls his hand back right as Camille chomps.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thankfully, no matter what size you are, biting is always effective.
Oh, you got that right. Big old bites. And also kicking.
Well, I mean, unfortunately for kicking, you do still need to have some strength for that.
Yeah, fair. I did just pick you up like nothing.
Yeah.
You know, the neighborhood doctor that's, like, just down the street, she's a pretty good, oh, what do you call it? Is it a chemist? She makes her own medicine.
Huh.
Well, anyway, whatever they call it, she makes her own medicine, so, like, maybe she might be able to find something to help out with your situation?
Maybe, though.
It's
He does
It's up to
kind
you.
of glance away a bit nervously.
Yeah, no. Arata's just like, hey, it's an idea. You don't have to go through with it.
I'll think about it.
Alright.
Thankfully, there are people who are willing to help out in Nyquil too, so.
Yeah. You know, this is one really weird family. I mean,
Could say that again.
this is one weird family. God, there's me with my whole situation, and there's Leo, and you know, we're both Phantom Thieves, and then there's Sammy. You know, color changing Toon, with his own can of worms. There's Juby.
Also has his own can of worms.
With his own can of worms. And there's you, who got shortified. And then Timmy is just Timmy.
Timmy is the glue holding us all together from our respective mental breakdowns. Let's be real here.
Oh, you're right. If anything happened to Timmy, I might just flip my shit. Oh, that must be how Azumi feels.
Real blings.
I'm pretty sure if anything happened to you, Azumi would revert back to basic instincts and, like, just bite someone's hand off.
You know, I don't think I can deny that, considering we were just joking about him breaking out of jail. Even if him breaking out of... I say joking, but we both know he actually would.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, he would.
So, if we can backtrack for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Did you really just call it shortified?
He has a shit-eating grin on his face. Maybe so.
Camille looks very unimpressed. I mean, I guess you're not wrong, but... Really?
Shortified. Shrink grade. No.
You know, I think the more people joke about me being shrink grade, the more likely it is to actually happen once.
I think if you got any smaller, we'd all have a conniption.
Yeah, I would probably be the first in line.
This is not counting your wild shape. I just think it's funny that all your wild shape are baby versions.
Yeah, it certainly is interesting that that carries over, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that still means I'm a poisonous creature in those forms, too.
God. You're just a poison frog, no matter the form you take.
Yes, very funny.
Can you wild shape into a frog?
Out of character, not yet, because frogs have a swimming speed,
Okay.
and I keep forgetting to actually level him up.
No, that's fair.
But soon.
Soon.
He has enough to level up, I just keep forgetting to.
That's fair.
Yeah, so Camille kind of just pauses. He's like, I guess I'll have to try that.
If you perpetuate this joke that it becomes real, I think Sammy would lose his mind.
Probably.
Did I ever tell you about the tea thing? With Sammy?
That time you got something from the chocolate guy and blew Sammy's mind?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a dessert made to look like a teacup, and it had like a filling in it that actually looked like tea, and Sammy did not know, and I took a bite out of it, teacup and all, and he was just, what? Lost his mind.
That sounds like him.
So now he knows that, like, confectionaries and pastries can be made into funny shapes.
I imagine that means he'll be trying it himself soon.
God, I hope so. I, for one, will encourage it.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
Hey, I support my siblings' funny little hobbies.
I know. And Camille probably... He is smiling, but then he does sober up a bit because he is still thinking him thoughts, TM.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just... When do you think we will be able to visit Shiro?
And Arata sighs and rubs a hand in the back of his head, just kind of rustling his hair, and he says, God, I don't know. I mean, they're probably questioning him right now, so it might be a bit, but I really don't know.
Bill nods and is just, I guess I'll probably have to learn a bit about the ghetto legal system while I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I did promise me that I'd get, well, I didn't promise, but I did tell me I would try and find some books about deities while I'm here.
Oh. I mean, there's a shrine in, and I completely blanked on the name of the district. Hang on. Let me find my notes. Firefox, please. Okay, there we go. He says, there's a shrine in, Kanata. We can go there at some point.
We'll nods as he's just, sure, I'm better like a bookstore or something since I figure that Yeto probably has a lot more information about deities and such.
And Arata just nods like, yeah, that's fair, that tracks. There are many here.
Kind of funny that the country with no gods and the country with 8 million gods are so, close.
I think we might have stolen your gods.
Well, you can probably keep them. No problem. We shall take a moment. How you doing tonight?
Alright, I think we're good for a little bit.
Okay.
Arata kind of just laughs at that, and he's just, you know what, I think we might.
They...
Say it again?
I'm trying to find words as he's just... Yeah, I have to admit to not being particularly fond of them.
I mean, you and me both, but that's kind of funny coming from the guy who lives in the country with 8 million gods and has only met 5, most of which aren't even from Yeto.
That is fair. I mean, well, gods tend to be a lot more hands-on about things.
And Arata just kind of sighs. And, he kind of just falls back into silence for a bit.
Real kind of just leans into him.
You know what I don't get about this whole situation, besides the fact that Azumi is turning himself in, knowing fully well how fucking corrupt the police is? You want to know what I don't get?
What?
I genuinely cannot think of anyone who would want to bring Azumi back and have him look for me without them knowing who I am.
So, saying you think it might be someone who knows your identity?
I don't know. It's... Look. Azumi died in the plane of dreams, and with the way things turned out, we couldn't recover his body, so he was lost for 2 years. And it doesn't make sense that they would have been able to revive Azumi without his body and know enough that he and I, or he and Trickster, however you want to phrase it, were that close to each other. Even if he hated my guts at the time.
Is something. Because I think really the only way you can revive someone without a part of them would be the wish spell, right? Which is
That
not exactly something that would.
That's really powerful. Like, putting into perspective. You go.
Yeah. Alright. Camille is very much doing that little thinking pose. Like, legs crisscross, hand on his chin as he thinks, as he's just. Yeah, if you knew anyone with that sort of power, then you would obviously know that they have that kind of power. That's not exactly something people are able to hide. And moreover, if you had a spell like that, then would you do more with it? I don't know. I guess the other option would be something involving the plane of dreams, but
That's already pretty hard to get into. I mean, spirit rogues notwithstanding, the only way people can get into the plane of dreams is by, dreaming.
right.
Unless you're the professor.
Yeah, the professor doesn't. The professor is sort of an exception to everything, so yeah, it's not exactly something you can just waltz into. I mean, when I ended up there and he sort of gestures at Spades, like, that was a very specific set of circumstances. And it's not really like you could have gotten anywhere else there.
Yeah. That seemed more like a demi-plane that, like, kind of offshoot from the plane of dreams. And God, that's already its own situation, but and Arata rubs a hand against his face.
Aaron given a pat. It's just it definitely sounds like we need to visit the library, or maybe someone who knows something about the plane of dreams.
And Arata just kind of shrugs, and he reaches for something that Satoru gave him during the game, Okashima Daylight, and it's the book. And he kind of looks it over. It's a book on cognitive science, and he says, kind of thoughtfully, he says, you know, the place in the part of the plane of dreams that we were in when what happened with Azumi happened, directly relates to the plane of dreams, you know? Sorry, words. Directly relates.
Oh, you're good.
Directly relates to the, to cognitive science.
And Camille nods as he's just, right, so that's definitely something worth looking into.
Mm-hmm. And the only two people who I know who would really know it, a lot about that would be Ichika, my sister, because her mom used to study it, and then there's Dr. Masaru. He's a counselor who'd been looking into research on cognitive science and whatnot. So if anybody would have insight to that side of stuff, it would be them.
Right. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that either you already know Dr. Masaru, or you have ways of meeting him.
I mean, he was the school counselor for a bit when I was still in high school.
Yeah, I thought.
He's nice. I think you'd like him. Kind of a dork. Very clumsy, but he gives pretty good advice.
Oh, sort of nods.
And I think it would be nice if you got regular old therapy for once.
You'll nod at that. I'm sorry that it kind of tends to blow up. It's just, guess that's what happens when regular old therapy isn't normally an option.
I guess. But he kind of gives you a pat on the head. Not on the head, like on the back of your shoulder.
Yeah. Feels just, I was actually, talking about it with Minami some time ago. He also wanted me to see someone. It's just... He sort of gestures at himself.
I mean, I get that.
It's not... It's sort of, I mean, I'd like to, of course. I would rather not have to have it all blow up in my face a third time, because then he sort of makes a big gesture, just, you know.
No, no, I get you, I get you. And he sighs and he says, that's kind of why I agreed to the whole, support group thing. Because I don't really know a therapist that I can trust with, He makes a gesture to the banner with the Spirit Rogues logo.
Yeah. Bit rough, I guess.
Yeah.
Having a... If you do ever meet anyone who, you can trust with stuff like that, then let me know.
Yeah. Of course.
And of course, if that happens to me, I'll let you know.
In the meantime, though, I do think you should at least,
Sorry, what was that?
In the meantime, though, I think you should at least, meet with Dr. Masaru. Just to, like, get to know him. Maybe. I don't know.
You'll... No, it's like, yeah, I suppose that's fair. I mean... Camille certainly does have stuff he could talk to a therapist about. I mean, I still don't think the whole kidnapping thing is as traumatizing as most people make it out to be, but I mean, I guess it's a little bit traumatizing.
Arata gives you a look that is so very tired.
Camille just gives Arata a little shrug as he's just like, I mean, other people would handle it worse. I'm not...
You, my good dude, are either very far in the repression or very, very good at compartmentalizing.
Might be a bit of both. Arata, I have been through so much.
Why does that have the same energy if I do a backflip every day of my life?
No, that's Leo. Isn't compared to... I mean, it's not even the most traumatizing experience I've had as Camille.
That says a lot. And I don't think it's saying what you want it to say.
It's not even the most traumatizing kidnapping I've gone through.
Hey, do you want to say that again to my face?
Considering that one of them ended with a plane crashing in the ocean, I think I'm valid in this assessment.
Arata puts his head in his hands. And he says, you know what, I'm gonna tell this to Leo just so he can kick your ass later.
Well, if you tell it to Leo, he's gonna complain about how he didn't get to crash a plane.
I think I think it would be both.
Yeah, it is probably both. Leo did not get to learn about the plane thing, especially considering that happened with LeBlanc. I don't want to. He just puts his head in his hands. It's just, if Leo learned that was with LeBlanc, he would complain even more about the fact that he wasn't involved.
Oh no, he would. I think he might cry a bit about it.
It's Leo, of course he'll cry about it.
Okay, dead ass. I did not see the audience before I said that.
You didn't see the Sangri?
No! I love you, Marzi.
We love you and we love Leo. Just still though. The thing about the plane does not leave this room.
And Arata pantomimes zipping his lips. And then he turns and points a finger to Genie, and Genie just puts a paw over his face.
Thank you.
You got it.
Camille gives Genie a little thumbs up. But yeah, no, that would probably, I guess, be the most traumatizing kidnapping case I've been kidnapped in.
I can't believe this is a thing we're talking about now.
Would you rather talk about something else, or?
You know what? He holds up a finger and he, like, points at you, opens his mouth to say something, closes it, and he says, "Why don't I talk to you about Gris? You're gonna be staying here for a bit."
Field just snorts.
Okay, luckily you are baby-sized, so I don't think Satoru is gonna ask you to help around the shop. But, I think he is gonna let you just sit around the cafe if you want. Which means you get to see a lot of the kind of fucking regulars we get to deal with.
I get the feeling that that's regular is derogatory.
I mean, some of them are nice. There's this really sweet old couple that comes by every so often. But they will just talk about random shit. And probably won't stop talking. You know how it is.
I do know how it is. I deal with you.
Shut the fuck up.
And gives you a bit of a smile where he's just, I mean, I guess that's fair though.
Okay. There's this one guy. Who's a regular here in Gris, and you know that movie theater that's like right down the street?
Camille nods.
Okay, so he says he's a movie critic, and he is the snootiest customer that comes through here. Would you be down to bully him with me?
You know what? Why not?
just
Little
pumps a
kids can-
fist.
Camille returns the gesture. She's just like, little kids can get away with so much shit, I've learned. I mean,
Perfect.
Really, it is a wonder that they don't abuse it more. Though I guess by the time they learn how to, they, aren't so little anymore.
Abuse your power, Camille. Abuse it.
I mean, if I'm going to be stuck as a 6-year-old for an indeterminate amount of time, abusing it is one of the few ways I can stay sane, Arata.
I mean, sure, might as well have a little bit of fun.
And Camille nods as he's just, yep, might as well make the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he is thinking for a bit as he's just. So, if I do encounter, by chance, on accident, a murder.
Oh no.
How much grief should I give the police?
All the grief. All of it. Camille, look at me. Camille, look at me. He kind of like leans forward, puts his hands on your shoulders, and gives you the most tired look he can manage, and he says, Yeto has a 99% conviction rate. I went through that. Give them hell.
Yeah, that is what I figured. And he is giving you a big ol' grin.
He's just like, oh, thank God, thank you. If anything else, Seikichi will be on your side. Otherwise, give them hell.
Yeah, bold of you to assume I won't be giving him hell either.
Well, he is a cop, so he's still bullyable, but you know.
Camille nods as he's. I mean, he doesn't know, so I have to be fair in giving the act to everyone.
Understandable. Have a nice.
Camille nods. He does sigh a little as he's just. Thanks for. Thanks for, letting me stay here.
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, after that look you had earlier, there's no way I was gonna leave you alone.
I'm sorry about that. I couldn't really.
It's... Camille? It's okay. I get it. There's a lot going on, and I'm gonna be real, I don't know how exactly to feel about it either. I'm mostly just angry and upset. So, like, I get it. But sometimes you just need to have someone there who you know is gonna have your back, you know?
Phil nods.
So I got your back.
I got your back too.
And
Don't forget that the support group exists for a reason. Even if I'm upset and still sorting through the emotions, we're here to support each other, not just have you support me.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot.
Arata is given a little pat. You gonna try talking to Dr. Masaru too?
I mean, he's the closest I got to a therapist. He is a counselor and everything, so he's not. It's not like he can give a professional diagnosis because he's not a therapist or a psychiatrist or whatever, but you know, um, it'd be nice to like have someone to talk to, so they can go together at some point.
Camille nods as he's just good, because if I'm getting a therapist, then so are you.
We're in this together for the long run.
That we are. And I mean, if he does turn out trustworthy, then some random therapist in Yeto is probably safe, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And he kind of just sighs and rubs a hand against his face again. And he's just. There's just a lot that I have to figure out, you know? Because with everything going on, things are kind of weird. In more than one sense.
Yeah. Let's say you can say that again, but then you will. And I feel like we already used up that gag.
We sure did. And he gives your head another pat.
You're getting patted back. Um, I'm sure that we'll be able to figure something out while we're here. Even if we can't completely get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, getting to
Something
the bottom
has to turn out.
Yeah. Getting to the bottom of it would be the best case scenario, but I just hope we'll be able to, you know, find something.
I mean, you've got a detective on the case, so...
I sure do.
2 detectives, actually.
Many detectives. Why are there so many of you?
I don't know how to tell you that detectives and phantom thieves kind of go hand in hand.
He's just grinning.
I mean, a phantom thief without a detective Who's gonna be the one chasing you down and having tense emotional moments with?
Oh god. Oh god. God, who is gonna be Trickster's rival now? Oh no. Oh shit. Oh no. And Arata puts his head in his hands all of a sudden.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh god. If word gets out that Azumi turned himself into the police, the media's gonna have a field day with that.
Yeah. I'm there's hoping that he don't get wind of it until it's all over.
God, I hope. Oh god, I'm hoping that they don't find out. You like just see him like kind of do like an involuntary shudder at the thought.
You were given a sympathetic pat as he's just, if they do somehow find out, then I am literally going to go and bite some reporters.
I would encourage you.
And I'm sure that I'm sure that Leo can convince Camembert to do the same.
Arata nods conspiratorially, and then he looks to Genie, who just nods back.
You should see the number Camembert does on the Vealstown police. It's,
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure that Camembert could get through the entire department in under one night.
I love that dog so much. God, I hope Leo brings Camembert with him.
He would absolutely not leave Camembert behind.
Oh, good. Good.
I mean, he can't even leave Camembert behind for a heist, so...
No, that's fair.
I should really talk to him about switching up the names he uses for that dog. I mean, I didn't notice because of plot stuff, but, if Phantom L has a dog named Camembert, and Leonardo Layton has a dog named Camembert, then it's really not that hard to come to a conclusion.
Yeah, you're right. You are correct. You should name him something like, I don't know, cheddar or Gouda or fondue.
Are you still thinking about that chocolate fountain?
I might.
You know, at this rate, we really should break that thing out once everything's all over.
Oh. Absolutely.
So, might have to be careful.
Yeah, it's a lot of chocolate. It's a lot of chocolate, and you can pretty much just chocolate glaze anything with that thing. Thank you, audience, for that.
And in chocolate glazed hand.
It's probably around this time that you hear a knock at the bottom of the staircase again, and then footsteps as Satoru comes back up, and And he just says, I left you 2 dinner on the counter, so if you want to go grab it, go ahead. I'm closing up shop for the night.
And Camille gives him a little nod. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And he gives you a wave, and as he heads back down, he says, don't stay up too late, okay? You're gonna get sick like that.
And there's another nod from Camille, even though Satoru can't see that. He's just, okay. God, I think he would call Satoru, Satoru-san, right?
Ashikaga-san.
Ashikaga-san.
Yeah.
And there's just another, thank you, Ashikaga-san.
It's really cute. Sorry, I don't think he would like do it visibly, but he just handed me just like inward gushing, and I'm just like, oh, old man.
Whoa.
Cute little baby be upon you.
Probably does not at all help the fact that Camille is also a tiny red-headed child with glasses.
Yeah. God, yeah. And you hear him from like the bottom of the stairs just goes, "You're welcome." And then you hear the sound of the door opening and closing with the bell ringing, and then the sound of a key locking.
I think the moment he hears the key lock, he immediately drops the baby act with a say. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, Iggy.
Oh, someone is feral.
Woof woof.
Alright. Okay, I'm taming the beast. We're fine.
And Arata just snorts, and he's just... You know, he said the exact same thing to me at one point. About staying up too late.
Well, I can see you obviously didn't take that to heart.
Shut.
Listen, I have seen the sleeping schedules of Phantom Thieves, and it is even worse than that of detectives, actually. Which is sort of a very high bar to clear, so...
Don't call me out like this. You just hear Jeannie go, I mean, you've got a point there, Camille. I'm usually the one who has to tell Arata to go to bed. And Arata just turns to glare at Jeannie.
Do you just sit on his chest until he passes out, or...?
Sometimes.
Camille, he definitely looks as if he's considering that. He's just, well, I will keep that in mind.
Hey, no. Take that out of your mind right this moment.
It's too late. I've incorporated it into myself.
God damn it.
What are you gonna do about it, huh?
here you see as Arata just kind of like look at you, and then
You already stole my heart once, you can't do it again.
And he says, "No, but I can do this," and he picks you up and stands up.
There's definitely a little squeaky toy noises he's picked up.
He says, what does he say? He says, "You know, I can't believe you've done that every single time I've picked you up."
Listen, it is a toon thing. I cannot help it. I'm sure that it'll go. Yes, Iggy?
It'll go boof.
It'll go boof. He's just, I'm sure that it'll go away when I get my body back.
Alright. That seems like sound logic. And Arata's gonna head downstairs so that the two of you can eat the dinner that Satoru made.
And Camille is going to accept being held like football.
Yeah, he probably like sets you down like on the stool on the stool by the counter. God, I can words.
Which is probably for the best, because I don't think he can get up there by himself.
Yeah, no. You just get plopped right into your own seat. And oh god, you do get to eat Satoru's cooking when not as out of it.
This time he can actually appreciate it. He probably does, especially since he probably wouldn't be wearing his hat at this point. He has gotten into the habit of taking his hat off occasionally.
Aw.
For fairly obvious reasons.
Yeah, that's fair.
So he absolutely does a little Ghiblian hair poof eye sparkle when he eats it. You know the one.
Yes. Wonderful. And Arata just goes, "Oh yeah. You like it, huh?"
Camille just gently shoves Arata as he's just, yeah, I see what you mean now.
He snorts.
I don't suppose you could perhaps make an exception for the no coffee rule? Just one? You always talk about how good the coffee is, so...
If I make you coffee, it's gonna have to be decaf. I'm pretty sure people will find out.
Just groan.
Yeah, he's not too happy about it either. But he does make a note about it, and he just says, "I'm gonna be real. Even if it's decaf, Satoru is so good at making it that you wouldn't even be able to tell."
Guess we'll have to see then.
Mm.
So, I will still be trying to see if I can convince him to give me not decaf just once.
Narada just kind of laughs.
So you better not laugh when I pull out the baby act, okay?
Only if I'm allowed to laugh if it fails.
That is a risk that I'm willing to take.
And Arata nods.
I love looking over at the gallery and see. Listen, Tom and Leah aren't here. What they don't know can't kill them.
Correct. But they will kill them.
And it was just, listen, Tom and Leo never let me have actual copies, so I'm going to use this chance while I have it.
Well, if they find out, they're not finding it out from me. I'm still gonna try and keep you on decaf for now.
For now. I do have a very good feeling about using the baby act on Ashikaga-san, though.
You know what? I'd believe it. He does seem to like you already. I cannot do anything about that barking if you can hear it.
No, you're good.
Outside my window.
Yeah, don't worry, you're fine.
Somebody's probably walking their dog out at night.
Probably. But yeah. I feel like... Do they have anything else to talk about?
I don't think so. At least not on my end.
Yeah, they had their little feelings jam. TM.
Yeah. And hopefully they'll...
This does also set up, when Camille meets Ichika, he's gonna take one look at her and go, oh, I see.
Oh, wonderful. Anyway,
look, we did an FPS under 2 hours. We did it.
yeah, we did. We did it. I'll take it as a win.
Listen, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, thank you all so much for listening in, both now and in the future. And thank you, Fletch, for doing this FPS with me.
Thank you for doing it with me. Though I do remember one last thing to note.
Oh?
Camille is absolutely, gonna take Jeannie's advice, and tonight Arata will have the teeniest little kitten on his chest.
Oh no! Arata can't move! It's gonna be, one, a blubbering mess, and two, he can't even, like, move Camille because he's so tiny! And he loves the little tiny!
Rest in fucking pieces, Arata.
And he sure will rest!
But yeah, so thank you again for joining me. I had fun. I hope that you did.
Oh, I absolutely did. It was very good.
And bye!
Bye!